We are continuing our coverage of New Jersey's special election for the 11th Congressional District right here in New Jersey. The seat was previously held by Governor Mikie Sherrill, who stepped down after being sworn in as governor, triggering this special election. Voters across parts of Essex, Morris, and Passaic counties will now decide who will represent them in Washington. Joining us now is Analilia Mejia, the Democratic nominee for New Jersey's 11th Congressional District. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. We both are handling the kids this morning. I have my two
Yes.
upstairs, you have your two around. Before we begin, tell us a bit about yourself and your family.
So I am a working mom, a suburban soccer mom, if you will. I've lived in Glen Ridge, New Jersey for 13 years, where my husband and I are raising our two sons. I've been an organizer for 25 years. And while many people may not know me or my name exactly, they do know the work that I have done in New Jersey. I led the campaign to raise the minimum wage to $15 with cost of living increases. I led the campaign to ensure all New Jersey workers have earned sick days and even fought to ensure that we expanded democracy, expanded early voting, and even challenged the line system, which ultimately had an impact on my race.
So, this is a special election following Governor Mikie Sherrill's departure from Congress. Why did you decide to run for this seat at this moment?
Well, look, like many Americans, I'm looking at what's happening in our country and I am very concerned. I can see that the biggest problem we in fact face is the outsized power of big money in our economy, in our democracy. It is clear to many working families that this economy isn't actually working for us. And that includes not only the working class, but the middle class and even upper middle class. I talked to so many of my neighbors who were expressing that the ballooning healthcare costs, ballooning housing costs, were all making them fall further and further behind. What's more, the democratic backslide that is clear and evident across our country is concerning every single one of my neighbors. We have watched in horror what has happened in Minnesota. We have watched in horror what we see as an overreach of the current administration. And I think that this is a moment in which regular everyday people need to engage in the political system. I've never run for office. I've been an organizer. I've been a working mom for my entire career, but I jumped in now because our democracy, our economy, and our communities need just regular everyday people who have the knowledge and the commitment to do what's right and not what's politically uh, beneficial to them.
For viewers who may not be familiar with the 11th district, it's very eclectic across three very different counties. What are the
Yeah.
key issues you're hearing from voters?
Well, across the entire district, I hear concerns around affordability, as I shared. I've also heard concerns about infrastructure. The fact that President Trump essentially held hostage gateway funding has sent many commuters into greater despair because our commutes are too long and too uncomfortable, and we need the resources that have been denied. Many families are concerned about, again, how President Trump attacked salt tax deductions, making it harder for homeowners. Many of my hopefully future constituents complain about tax fairness. That's why I am an advocate of not taxing the first $40,000 in income for working families, because it's unfair that billionaires and corporations often pay zero, if not negative taxes, and working families end up paying the brunt. This is an economy that is harming so many people, and we have to focus on it while we ensure and uphold our democratic institutions and restore normalcy functioning to Congress. That's why I think we need to send an organizer like myself, someone that understands how to engage community, to talk to people, bring in new voters, but more importantly, legislate without being at the mercy and beck and call cabal of big lobbyists and special interest groups. I won't take their money so that I could only respond to the needs of the voters of New Jersey's 11th Congressional District.
If elected to Congress, what policies would you prioritize to address some of those concerns you just mentioned?
Well, as I said, I propose that we lift the tax burden off the first $40,000 of income. That would help tremendously many families in New Jersey. I am an advocate of expanding and improving Medicare because rising healthcare costs are harming our families in a way that is becoming untenable. I am an advocate of not only restoring and protecting gateway funding, but figuring out working with the federal government and creating ties to local government to address infrastructure needs across this district. Flooding is a major concern, and we have an opportunity to address it if we invest in the front end on behalf of working families and working people.
Special elections often have different dynamics than regularly scheduled elections. I mean, we're voting on a Thursday this time, right? So, how are you
Yes.
approaching outreach and voter engagement in this race?
As someone who has lived in this district for 13 years, as someone who understands that you need to meet people where they're at, I have focused on engaging community and answering their questions. I've held town halls. I'm going to hold some additional town halls. I've held trainings on how we protect our democracy, which has been very well received by residents who understand that a zip code doesn't protect us from rising violent authoritarianism. And finally, I pound the pavement. I've already purchased another pair of sneakers so that I could make sure that I'm walking around all of the district, hitting as many community centers so that I can engage with people and best understand how to represent them well in this upcoming congressional cycle.
Well, thank you so much. Best of luck to you. Get those steps in, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
you on the campaign trail.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to your listeners.